Namaskar, dear devotees and friends. This Wednesday again, we'll be studying the Panchama Veda, the Gospel of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Let us begin with this pranam mantra. Tavo kathamritam tapta jivanam kavi virilitam kalmashapaham shravana mangalam sri madatatam bhuvi grinanti e bhurida janaha. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, it was the account of the Sunday, October 25th, 1885. And we are reading from the page, English page 882, Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Now, the last Wednesday, we were discussing that Bhagavan is mentioning, meditate on me. This is a very rare thing, as because Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna could not say I. So he could not identify his own body. So that was this very speciality. He could not identify. And obviously, when he said, the meditate on me, it indicates meditate on the Supreme Brahman. The Supreme Brahman, which is Nirguna, Nishkriya, Abhaya, Akshara, Vibhu, these are the words that have been used to identify that Supreme Brahman. That means without any qualities, Nirguna. Guna are the qualities. What are the gunas? Sattva, Raja, Tama. In one stage, in the Parabrahma, there is no qualities. Then where from these qualities came? From him only. Now how it is? Because it was not activated over there. It was there, not manifested, not active. So obviously, he was not utilizing the gunas, he was not having those gunas as if. Similarly, since the gunas were not active, is nishkriya. Kriya is action. Nishkriya means no action. He never does anything. He, I'm mentioning the word he, but it is not any male or female. It is the consciousness, all pervasive. It is nishkriya, when it is not active at all. Why? Because there was no the gunas activated. So to understand this, we have to first understand what are the gunas. And then these gunas does everything. All this creation, only the permutation and combination of these three gunas. It is the pure good and absolutely bad, mixture of good and bad. Then sometimes the 70% good, and then 20% in between the Raja, and 10%. So like this, it goes on and on every time. Nothing was there in him, so nirguna. And since it was not activated, no kriya, there was no action. Abhaya. Abhaya, no form. Those who know about the Hinduism, they always say, Hindus, they worship so many gods and goddesses. No, they don't worship the gods and goddesses. It is only they take the help of those images so that they can concentrate. Why there are so many different type of forms? According to the love, according to the choices of the devotee. So, Abhaya. Akshara, no change. No shara, no change, akshara. So that is why no change is there, eternally same. Vibhu, all pervading. That Vibhu, the all pervasive, all pervadingness is there, that is called the Param Brahma. Then Brahman, it is having two forms. One is the Supreme Brahman, another a little below, having the qualities and taking all these different type of actions, creating this world, etc. Except the Brahman, there is nothing. The moment that Brahman is activating, it's as if separating itself from its own original form, and it is manifesting its power called Parashakti. Para and Apara. Para means supreme. The supreme, all means all is negative. It is not supreme. And supreme. The supreme Brahman is this, without qualities, without action, without form, without changes. It is all pervasive consciousness. And from there, it comes all the creation. And when it creates, it separates itself. This is the very fine point of philosophy we have to understand. If we mix up this, majority of the religion, they say, in a just straight way, God has created this universe. If one is activated, acting, that means he is also influenced by the three gunas, three qualities. And when one is having these qualities, that means he is limited. We can express about him. Oh, he is tall, he is short, he is this, he is fair, he is not fair. So different type of expression we can give. The moment we can express about God, that means limited. And when the thing is limited, it is fragile, it is going to break sometime. Maybe many years after, but it is. That is why the Hindu philosophy, they always, the concept is that Supreme Brahman. Tomorrow, the Kali Puja. And also, it's called the Deepavali. Deepavali is the Ramachandra came back after vanquishing and coming back with the Sita Ma. So the whole city was, the country was lighted. So when he was coming back, he saw the beautiful city. So Deepavali. It is also the symbol of the empowering, the power that is vanquishing the Asuras. The good power destroying the bad power. The light or the symbol of knowledge, the knowledge is destroying ignorance. So this is Deepavali. This is a great festival for the Hindus, and now slowly it is becoming all over the world. Kali Puja is the different. Kali Puja is a spiritual path. Following that path also, one can reach to that highest goal from where no one comes back. So that is called Kali Puja. The goddess Kali symbolizes the Sattva, Raja, Tama, and she is the knowledge and she is the activity, etc. But we should like to draw your attention to the Shiva. The Shiva who is lying at the feet of the goddess Kali, it is the white color, pure white. Why? Because it is Shvatta Guna. All knowledge is there, but no activity. Before that Shiva, another Shiva is there. Mostly in the images they don't show it, but in the Tantra, if you study the Tantra, those who have read, they will know, and that is a supreme Shiva is there. Same conception. One without the form, another with form. The Shiva, a pale body, head is turned to one side, and the tongue has also come out a little, and the symbol of pure death, complete death, no sign of life. That is called Parabrahma. Just we read, we discussed, which is Parabrahma, no activity, no quality, no differentiation. So that means it is just like the dead. And Shiva here in the Tantra, another path of the Hinduism to reach to the same goal. And they give this opportunity because different type of minds are there, thoughts are there, choices are there, temperaments are there. So same thing may not be fitting for each and everyone. So this is the beauty of the Hinduism, They say, okay, through the power is that Tantra. Here the first Shiva is Parama Shiva. Parama again, the highest, no activity, no color also. Then second Shiva is white one, which usually we see. Those who have seen the picture of the images, you see that white color Shiva. Below that white Shiva, there is supposed to be another Shiva on whose chest this white Shiva is lying. And the white Shiva's eyes are open, all symbolic. The moment the eyes are open means it wants to do something, create something, see something. And in the Vedanta, it will say, Ekaham bahushyamavihi. I am one, I like to be many. Same thing in a different forms, in different way. This Shiva, when wants to create, the creation comes in the form of goddess Kali. It is not lady or gentleman or the male or female, nothing like that. It's the power. Why in the mother form? Because she is creating, she is sustaining, that is the reason. So this is the symbol of the goddess Kali. Tomorrow we will discuss about it in a more detail. And here when we see that Parabrahma and Parashakti, these two combine in Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. We see the Parashakti also in Sri Ramakrishna, but not directly, is actually using that Shakti through Ma Sharadamani Devi or through Swami Vivekananda. And of course, afterwards, through direct disciples and through his followers and other monks, nuns, devotees. But this Sri Ramakrishna is the Parabrahma and he is the Parashakti. So this we were discussing, and when he said, meditate on me, think of me, that means he is addressing, it is not the Sri Ramakrishna that we see, but the Parabrahma and with the Parashakti. Parabrahma, Parashakti, that has manifest Jagat Rupa Sri Ramakrishna. The Sri Ramakrishna, that Sri Ramakrishna, Parabrahma Sri Ramakrishna, he is addressing the devotee and he is very happy someone is meditating on him. How he is meditating? It is a doctor and Sri Ramakrishna is his patient, and doctor is a very sincere doctor, not like the casual, oh come and then okay, he forgets about his patient. No, he is very much attentive about the patient. Now it is raining in the night, whether someone has helped him to cover his body or not, otherwise he will catch cold. It is suddenly, it was the warm evening, now the night has become cool because of the rain. Whether there is someone to help him or not, doctor is going on thinking. The last time we discussed, when the Master Moshe went to ask about some medicine and his prescription, then he said, you know what? Because of his Paramahamsa, I cannot sleep. Constantly I am thinking of him. When the Master Moshe came back, I reported that to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna was happy. Why? Now this doctor was almost an atheist who never believed in the existence of God. Now he is thinking about God, meditating on the God and the God's supreme form, Sri Ramakrishna. You know why Sri Ramakrishna is supreme? Not that I am a follower of Ramakrishna, as a monk of the Ramakrishna mission. No, not like that. This is the manifestation of the God that manifested in the form of Rama, in the form of Krishna, and this time as Sri Ramakrishna, but without any Raja or Tama, pure Sattva. So this is very, very rare manifestation. When someone took his photograph, then he showed him afterwards, after the printing, when he saw his own photo, then Sri Ramakrishna, mostly those who have seen the photo of Sri Ramakrishna, that he is sitting, squatting on the floor. He said this is the highest form of meditation. So whoever will look at that photo will get some spiritual benefit. Those who are meditating on that photo, that picture, are improving their spiritual power. So this Sri Ramakrishna, who is developing in this way, that this we can think of, and he is asking, please meditate. Doctor is meditating on him. And this conversation was going on, and then afterwards this now and then he was chanting. Mahimacharan sang with tears in his eyes, behold, behold, the embodiment of love divine. This we have already read. Now he said that Mahimacharan, he was a Vedantin because he used to study the Vedanta. And Vedantin means mostly Advaita Vedanta. In Advaita Vedanta, there is no conception of God. Those who study Hinduism, this is a very, very difficult religion. Other religions are very simple. The one God is there, a few instructions are there, follow that, that's all. So it is so easy. Not much of philosophy. The God is there, He looks after us, He will be punishing you if you are not doing good thing, and He will reward you if you are doing some good things. Bad things, good things, punishment, reward. So that is very simple. And then there are some of the practices. You have to fast, you have to do this, you have to do that, and that's all. But what happens, here in the Hinduism, it is the jnana, it is the bhakti, it is the karma, it is the dhyana, different type of paths they have given, and so that the people according to the temperament can follow that. So this he is mentioning over here, and this Mahimacharan, who was supposed to be a Vedantin, and he is in tears, and he is singing, behold, behold, the embodiment of love divine. What is God? Swami Vivekananda, he said L-O-V-E, pointing to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. He said, Sri Ramakrishna is L-O-V-E, personified. God is love. So when people, they hate each other in the name of religion, they are actually doing completely opposite to religion. They don't know. They are thinking they are protecting their own religion, they are propagating their religion, they are practicing their religion. Wrong. Action is when it is going against anyone, it cannot be the religion, because each and everything is nothing but God. This is from the point of view of philosophy. But at the practical level, of course, there is different. You have your own society, your own country, you have to protect yourself, you have every right. So the Hinduism gives in that way also. They call it ashramas. And different ashramas, different categories of people, they have different type of dharmas. There's responsibility. Those who are practicing religion, that means the monks, the nuns, the spiritual people, they should be completely neutral. And they are depending on the God's power. And they will depend on God, the God will take care. But those who are in the society, they must protect themselves. They must plan how to protect themselves, all this. Everything is there. It is not that somebody will come and they will kill us and we'll quietly sit and say, oh, it is okay, God is doing like that. It may be the highest religious people, they can do that. Others, they should not. They will have to do their own swadharma. It has been explained in the Bhagavad Gita. In the Bhagavad Gita, we find that the Sri Krishna inspiring Arjuna that you must perform your own dharma. So another, this thing we should have to, we have already discussed, and here we come down to that point where Sri Ramakrishna mentioned, meditate on me. So this person is coming to Sri Ramakrishna. He read some of the books and he thought that he is a Vedantin. He was constantly quoting from different scriptures, proving that there is no God. Now in the company of Sri Ramakrishna, he developed love. When he has developed love for God, when he is singing, he is crying. In a tearful eyes, with tears in his eyes, he is singing. That means genuine love for God has come. Whatever he is uttering, the meaning of those is touching his heart. And that shows he is truly, genuinely proceeding towards God. It doesn't matter whether we call God as Brahman or God as Vishnu. It is Dvaitin or Advaitin, but there is something whom we love. Shankaracharya, the great Vedantin, he said, when we are loving our own soul, that is bhakti, that is devotion. And Sri Ramakrishna is inviting us to love that, the combination of all souls, and the source of the creation, that is Brahman. They are going on, Nityagopal also weeping, and Bhupati singing, hallowed be the Brahman, etc. The songs are going on, Bhupati again singing. After a long time, Sri Ramakrishna regained consciousness of the world. Now, friends, you see the mind of Sri Ramakrishna. We also hear songs. We also like those songs. But do we really carry with those words? No. We enjoy the music. When we are meditating on the meaning of those words, then only that song become a prayer. Otherwise, just a music, just a song, and it is entertainment. Sometimes some people, they are classical music. There'll be one word in different tunes, they'll be singing, and we enjoy that. Hours together people will be sitting and enjoying. That is the entertainment. Same song. Maybe they are using the word Sri Rama or Sri Krishna. But the listeners are not going for Sri Rama or Sri Krishna. They are not meditating on the qualities of Rama or Krishna. They are not meditating on the images of Lord Krishna or Rama. They are carried with the tune, the music. That is entertainment. What is enlightenment? When the song that we are hearing, and immediately those meanings that is ringing in our ear, our mind is also thinking those things, and slowly we are carried with those, and that's called meditation. Then when they say that tomorrow is the Kali Puja, so again and again the reference is Kali is coming, and that there is a song, there is hibiscus as a flower, and they think that as because it is red color, Ma Kali loves that. Well, the imagination. We don't know whether Ma Kali loves it or not. Maybe some of the great sages, they realized it. And that poem, it says, the song, it says, how, being a very ordinary flower, not even having any fragrance, you got the opportunity to be at the feet of the Mother, Divine Mother. And whereas I don't. So please teach me. How could you reach over there? You don't have any quality. As a flower, it should have the fragrance. Then only people, they like it and like to offer it to God. But the hibiscus is not having any fragrance and not very good looking again. But still they offer to the goddess Kali. So the writer, he is telling, without any quality, and you are at the feet of the Mother. I too am not having any quality. But how can I reach at the feet of the mother? Can you please teach me? So, as if he is trying to learn from that plant, the hibiscus plant and the flower. So, when you meditate, you think that red flower on the feet of the Divine Mother and this beautiful, the holy feet, and your mind is in that. It is on the chest of the Lord Shiva, the purest of the pure. And my mind is going over there. And what is purity? Unselfishness, free from ego. So, what is happening? When you are meditating on that, you are reaching on those qualities of Lord Shiva and Mother Kali. That is called meditation through music. And Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he showed in his life every time, whenever someone will sing and sincerely, not to entertain the gathering over there, then Sri Ramakrishna is not at all getting inspiration. That is very special. As because he is the God himself, and when they are crying and praying to God, the Sri Ramakrishna present over there, not getting the touch of those prayers. Friends, we have to notice this. When you are reading the lines of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, we have to also remember that they are singing before the God about God, not knowing though. At that moment, the Bhupati, I don't think he was knowing that he is singing before God. He is singing before a great personality, a very good monk, so Sri Ramakrishna. But Sri Ramakrishna is God himself. He is praying, and in tearful eyes, Sri Ramakrishna going into meditation. That means his prayer is reaching the God. So when he came to know that Dr. Sharkar was thinking about him, though as a patient, he was very happy. And when we think about Sri Ramakrishna, that proves he will be happy. When we sing for God with a sincerely, as if really we like to go at the feet of the Mother Kali, the God is happy. Sri Ramakrishna went into Samadhi. He came back again to the conscious world, and he said to him, something happens to me in that state of intoxication. Now he is explaining, trying to give some idea of deep meditation called Samadhi. No one can express what happens in the Samadhi. Swami Vivekananda, he has a beautiful poem. He wrote many poems, as he wrote so many articles and gave the lectures. He wrote some poems also in Sanskrit, in Bengali. And there in one poem he mentioned that when you are meditating, one after another, you are forgetting. At the end of your meditation, only two things remain there. I sense, I am meditating. Bahe matra ami, she dhara onukhan. In Bengali, bahe matra, the floating. What? I am meditating. She dharao bandha holo. Now that thought is also ceased to exist. There is no I. And then what happens? You go and mix with the Supreme Consciousness. And how you'll express that? No, you cannot. Boje pran, boje jar. And in Bengali he said, only those who have realized it, they have known it. Otherwise, no one can understand it. After the realization, they cannot express about their experience because unlimited, the unlimited, infinite, you cannot express through words. You cannot reach through any other measure thing. So that is why only those who have realized it, have understood it, felt about it, and it goes along with them. Sometimes Swami Vivekananda, maybe there's other meanings are there. He said some of the realizations that I had with me and the knowledge that I got will pass with me. I cannot express it. It is not possible. That will die with me. I cannot express it. It is inexplicable. This cannot be. No one can express it. So Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he is mentioning in that condition, he said intoxication, because people will understand that. The majority of the people, even in those days, in the Kolkata Babu culture, they used to say, they were all aristocratic people, and all their the factories and the lands they in the villages, they used to earn money. But these rich people, they used to live in Calcutta city, and the aristocrats naturally, and they used to drink, they used to have fun in the evening. Intoxication, they understand. So Sri Ramakrishna using the word, and of course the intoxication means, in the spiritual meaning, you forget everything. You forget everything, as after drinking lot of wine, the people, they forget time, including his own body. And the very learned person may be lying on the floor, maybe little nasty, dirty floor. He will lie down over there till he becomes sober. He will be there. When he becomes sober, he says, oh my God, where I am. What people will think about me. Then the body consciousness will come back. And in that intoxicated condition, he forgets everything. And similarly, a man meditating on God, he also forgets his body. But they two are two different. One goes through the darkness and one grows in the light. And genuinely, with the effort, meditating on the consciousness, he becomes consciousness, forgets the body. Ignorantly, with the help of some intoxication, they forget the body. These are the two differences. So here it says, when I am in the state of intoxication, now I feel ashamed of myself. In that state, I feel as if I were possessed by a ghost. I cease to be my own self. While coming down from the state, I cannot count correctly. Trying to count, I say, 1, 7, 8, or some such thing. That means the mind is still not, when we count, that means the alert mind. But we should not misunderstand it, that in the meditation or in the deep meditation, in the Samadhi state, people, they lose their consciousness. No, exactly opposite. They become fully aware of their consciousness. They forget their day-to-day, the regular worldly life. So that is why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning the counting. It needs another mind, that is worldly mind. It is not possible. The Master, their reason withers away. God cannot be realized through scholarship. So this is a very, very important statement. So sometimes some people, they think that one should study a lot to realize God. He said, no, God cannot be realized through scholarship. He is beyond the scriptures, the Vedas, the Puranas, the Tantras. Then should we not read? Of course we should read. Without that, we won't be able to have any conception, any idea of God. What is scripture? It is those who have realized the truth. Now they have expressed their experiences. That has been recorded, and it is called the scripture. The Shastra. The Shastra means, in Sanskrit, it is called Shastra. Shastra, those who have realized, they have expressed their realization, they have recorded it, That is called the Shastra. Previously, the people, they say in the Veda, they never allowed their students to write it down. Why? You must remember it. And to remember, they used to pressurize insist the students, you should not write it down, you should remember it. What is remembrance? That means I am completely alert. Every word of it should be there. So the whole Veda was memorized by those people. Think of their. Now we do not remember many things. Of course, nowadays the modern people, they remember all the code numbers. The bank code, office code, this code, so many codes are there. They all remember that. Maybe they are having another. Then there is only one code that you should remember. That is your, there's something they say, that if you remember that code, then with that you can open the other codes, because it's difficult to remember. I forget that code also. So this is all is. Now this problem of attention, sometimes some students will write to us and they ask, why cannot concentrate on my study? Because we don't love that study. But if we love that, our whole concentration will be there. Oh, I must know this. Then you love it. The engineers, so many calculations, so many varieties, you cannot imagine. Just a plumbing, and they will, now the constructing a building, how the wind calculation they will, if the wind is blowing very strong over here, how the building structure should be, what type of material we should use, all calculation. Simply going and putting some of those stones and bricks and mortars, a building, no. There's a lot of calculations are there. And when they're doing it at this time of study, they remember it. This corner should be this should be like this, and this should. Doctors remember the way they remember. So many types of varieties of medicine, and it's changing. Immediately they will also change, refresh their memories. And now in the time of the scripture, that is also necessary. What you should remember? The main thing about the God. Previously they used to remember the whole Veda. If you notice in the Hindu, they are having some, they call it the surnames. That's called the Vedi. Vedi means they used to remember one Veda. Then Dvivedi, that means two Vedas. Di means two. Then Trivedi, that means three Vedas. Chaturvedi. Chaturvedis are very proud of themselves. We are Chaturvedis, but they don't know anything about Veda nowadays. The modern, only we are Chaturvedi, we are the highest Brahmin. Not like that. You are supposed to know every details of the four Vedas. They know many other things, but now only carrying that surname. The four Vedas they are supposed to. So you can imagine the memory of these people. Why? Love. The love for the study. But then this study won't help you. There are so many scholars are there, philosophers are there, constantly reading and writing and giving some ideas, but they are most bound by the worldly things. Whether my paper has been published, how many people have read it, how many books have been sold, whether people are knowing about me or not, they are bogged down in these worldly things. They are not free. So some Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling that the scripture, it cannot help you. The God cannot be realized through scholarship. Scholarship cannot help you. I have read this, I know this, I can count, I can recite it. It doesn't help. Do you follow that? There was a teacher used to come to teach us in our the brahmacharya days. Not exactly us, our seniors. We have heard from them. He was a great scholar in the Calcutta University, Sanskrit scholar. He used to come and teach us the Sanskrit and also some of the scriptures also in the training center, Belur Math. The moment he will enter is a very scholarly and elderly person. After the retirement, he used to teach us. The moment he will enter into the class, which is all these young brahmacharis, novices, but he will bow down, almost lowering down half of his body like the Japanese, and with folded hands he will bow down. Then only he will enter in the class. Then someone, he said, "Sir, you are such a scholar, you are our teacher, Acharya. Why do you bow down before us?" Well, you know, I have read but never practiced. And you are practicing. So I am your student and I must bow down at your feet. Those who are practicing it, they're much, much higher. What is the practice? Giving up. It's so difficult. So difficult. They are blessed, those who could give. So that Ma Sharadamani Devi, he noticed a lady, she was walking, and you know the Bengali ladies and the Indian ladies, they wear the shadis, and the end of that is naturally sometimes loose. It touched that body of that brahmachari. That means she never cared about that young boy sitting over there in the corner. Ma Sharadamani Devi noticed it and immediately called that lady and said, "Go and bow down before that boy." And she said, "Now he's a young boy, but he is going to be a great sannyasi afterwards." Even that baby snakes, they are also snakes. She told like that. That don't think in that way. You must have the respect for them, those who are renouncing. Why? Because that is the greatest thing. So Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning that the realization through scholarship, it is not possible. He is beyond the scripture. And then he is mentioning Veda, Purana, Tantra. Veda, Purana, Tantra, there is a whole Hindu scripture. Sometimes some people, they are ready to cut the throats of others only because of the page of their holy book has been lost. I have seen there will be great riot and all that. People, have you read that book? Oh no, I have not seen that. Then why you were killing people? Somebody told that one page has been lost. What is that to you? So this is the way people, they are just fanatics. And by that way, they are becoming more and more sinners and going away from God. Friends, that we must be careful. Must be careful. Who was studying this? Human being. And among the human beings, very chosen few. Majority of the people don't care about religion. Human beings don't care about religion. Their religion means just a few, one or two things. But those who are sincere like you, really reading and hearing and analyzing, practicing, rare, very rare. And it's not me. Shankaracharya mentioned that, said that. In the scripture it is also there, here and now. Now, after reaching to this height, if we don't understand, then it's a great loss for us. According to Shankaracharya, Atmoha, they are committing suicide as if. And what should we do? It says that this is not the books, but the teaching of the book. What that is teaching us. Bhagavad Gita, a very holy book. But what the Bhagavad Gita is teaching us, again, Sri Ramakrishna, he mentioned Tyaga, Tyaga, Tyaga. You have to give up, you have to give up, you have to give up. What should we give? Our ego. When I am successful, I pat myself. And I am very happy with those who are also patting me and saying some good words about me, praising me. But have I done that? The knowledge that has come to me is from him. He is giving that particular knowledge at that time, so I am successful. I must be humble. Of course, I should say, I have tried and I have been successful by the grace of God. That much. Inside, I must be humble to God there were millions of people. But very kindly you have chosen me to perform that. So please don't leave my hand. So that should be the humbleness. If I see a man with even one book in his hand, I call him a Rajashri. Because here he says the people they are in those days, particularly in Calcutta, the books were very rare because no printing machines were there, very rare books. Many of you know that previously the people used to copy the holy books. Some of them they will copy the Bhagavad Gita, 700 verses, and some people in the Muslims, Islams also, they used to write the surahs from the Quran. You will find it's still there in the practice of the Buddhism. On the papers, not papers, the cloths, they will be writing some of the quotations from their Tripitaka, and they will hang it before their houses, thinking that I talked to one person, the Buddhist monk, why everywhere they are hanging this? Actually, they believe as because it's a holy word, and when it is flowing in the air, wherever that air will flow, whole area will be purified. This is a faith belief. Any Buddhist village you are approaching or the area you are approaching, you will see ordinary people, they are going on copying that on the papers. Then they will tie that on a rope and hanging it. Still that habit is there. And these, the scripture, we are reading and copying, and that's good. But some people, they had that opportunity to get a book, they will read that, as because others were not getting that. So they will go and quote and they will feel the great, oh, I know that. So Sri Ramakrishna disapproving that attitude. He's saying that is not good. Though he is a jnani, but the Brahmarshi has no outer sign whatsoever. It is the Rajashri. Rajashri means Raja plus Rishi. Rajashri. Raja means that the Rajasic quality is there. He needs the appreciation. He needs the power and all that. At the same time, doing something good. But Brahmarshi, he wants only that Brahma Jnana. So Sri Ramakrishna, he is inspiring that you should try to be Brahmarshi. Then do you know the use of scripture? A man once wrote on a letter to a relative, received the letter, read it, and remembered about the sweetmeats and the cloth. Then he threw the letter away. Of what further use was it? Scripture means you are reading about God, about the Brahman, about the Atman, and that much. Then why you have to carry that with you? It's not necessary. What it says, Brahma Satya Jagad Mitha. This world is purely temporary. And the temporariness is observed by something, and that is Brahman. That is permanent. Something static, something permanent, something unchanged. That observe the changes. I am going to go to that Brahman, that consciousness. We may call it God or Jehovah or whatever. But that is the main thing. I know it. And how to reach over there? Through love, through unselfishness, through the service, through the prayer. I know it. Then why should I have to carry the book? Sri Ramakrishna, not that he never liked the people should read book or carry book. No, not that. We should not misunderstand. We have to understand, we have to keep the when, where he is telling these words. When he was telling, when the people, they were so egoistic. Many of you have not seen that the Jamindars of India. They are very proud people that they used to be. So obviously, apparently they were showing all those, but they were having every quality. They were strong, they are intelligent, they used to love God. Only the Rajashika part and the Tamashika part, if it becomes lessened, then the Sattva will prevail and they will go to God, they will realize God. So that is the reason Sri Ramakrishna is saying this. So sometimes we misunderstand. Oh, Sri Ramakrishna said you should not read books. Not like that. Sri Ramakrishna never said that. Here it says, how long we use that paper later? Because some relative wanted some sweets and he wrote in a letter, can you please send this to me? And the letter is to that person. He read that and immediately said, okay. Now that letter is not necessary. So he threw it like a map. Previously, people used to go to different places using the map. Then after reaching over there, they can keep the map or they can throw it because they have already reached the destination. It is not necessary now. So that is why the scripture is just like that. We give lot of importance on the scripture and forgetting what the scripture is teaching. What is the teaching of the scripture? We forget that. Now, we remember when we were young, then the grade 3, grade 4, the new books used to come and we used to wait for that. From grade 3 to grade 4 we have come, sometimes the old books were there. Maybe my elder brother or sister, they were reading in that class. Those books could be used, but no, we need new books. So the new books would come and a special type of smell was there. Then we will see it with different color papers to fold the cover it. It has a cover, but still we'll cover it. Then write the names on that. That was a great joy for us. But when you are asking to read that, no. The reading, no, not now. Sometimes afterwards we let. So that was the Sri Ramakrishna, he is mentioning, you are so careful about the book, about on other things. Some of the people, they only worship the books. But do they read it? If they are not, then it is of no use. You have to read that book, imbibe the instruction, and then whether you keep that book or not, it doesn't matter at all. Swami Vivekananda once said, Jagote datar asan grohan karite hoibe. Jagote, in this world, sarvada, always, datar asan, as a giver, you should be on the height of the giver, not the receiver. Receiver is constantly begging. When we were children, we used to pray, Mother give me this, Father give me this, and like that. Then we have come to this stage, now I should give. Still now, oh, they are not appreciating me, they are not writing to me, they are not caring for me. Still I am going on nagging and crying. What is it? I give love, I give donations, I give support, I give all help, whatever. I am the giver. Data rasan grahan karibe. That means I have achieved that. I don't need those things. That is the realization. I have realized this. It is not necessary. Then Sri Ramakrishna, Narendra, now he is mentioning, it is because everything is one. Then he was very young. Narendra means afterwards Vivekananda. He was very young. Then he said, all things are the same because it is one. The Sri Ramakrishna mentioned that trying to count 1, 7, 8, then Narendra, he is commenting. It is because everything is one. From the point of view, if there is no one, the zeros have no value. The mathematical point of view. Maybe Narendra mentioned from that point that everything is one and then only. Or maybe he used to hear and read. He was a ferocious reader. He used to read a lot of books. So in the Vedanta it says everything is one. He mentioned that. Look at Sri Ramakrishna. Apparently Sri Ramakrishna didn't read anything. He only heard. And he realized he used to memorize everything. Very intelligent. When he was only young boy, he used to go from his village to other villages to enjoy those yatras they used to call in Bengali, means some the theatrical practices, performances. When he used to come back, the ladies mainly of the household or the neighbors, because they were not allowed to go, but they were curious what happened over there. Who will tell them? This boy, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, Gadadhar, hardly 5 or 6 years old, then he will enact everything. Even the sentences that the different actor and actresses they are mentioning, he used to do that. Sometimes he will act like a Rama, sometimes as a Ravana, sometimes as a Sita. Can you imagine? Whole drama he memorized. And he came and he used to tell them. He was a great joy for the village folks. That much memory, but he never got the opportunity to study because of that. The situation was like that. And he never wanted it. Why? To prove to this modern world, who are very much all the time, they boast about their alma mater. They always say, I am from this university, I am from that college, he was my teacher. That is okay. But what about you? The Sri Ramakrishna never cared for those things, but he became the teacher of the world to prove God's power is supreme. And sometimes some people, when they ask, is there God? What is the proof? This is the proof. A boy who never attended any school, a person who was not having any social status, so to say. He was from a poor background, from a village background, was only a priest. When he used to speak, the great scholars of those days, they used to become quiet and listen. It must be the power of God, otherwise how it is possible? Sometimes I say, when Swami Vivekananda came in the Parliament of Religion in Chicago, when he addressed that gathering of 7,000 people, there are always some another different type of numbers come. Sometimes people say 5,000, sometimes say it was 7,000 is recorded over there in the history, and it is all the best minds of the Jain society. They all stood up and clapped for 2 minutes. Why? That word power, power of the word. And that he threw, that touched the hearts of all those people who never knew Hinduism, never heard about the name India or Bharat, but they started loving that. So that is the power of God. He was not having any credential. A professor, John W. the Wright, he gave him a letter that also he misplaced. It was only with the blessings of his own guru, the God, Sri Ramakrishna, that he got the opportunity. People came forward to help him. One after another thing happened in a positive way. He was there and he spoke, and then he became so famous. That is the power of God. If God was not there, how it was possible? So if Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, moment he said, no, it is beyond 1 and 2. It is beyond 1 and 2. This is the realization. If we quote from the scripture, and we'll say it is 1, not 2, and Ditya Nasti. Ditya means 2, Nasti. It is not there. But he never said that. He said beyond. No conception of 2, no conception of 1, no conception of number. At this point, beyond, the word he used, pare, ek duer pare, eko nahi, duyo nahi. That means there is no 1, there is no 2. It is beyond that. What is that? Nasadiya Sukta in the Rig Veda is a unique way it is explained. There was nothing as if in the beginning. Sometimes some people by mistake it says there was nothing. And from nothing everything has come. No. Nothing means there was something, but one could not see that. So it says it is beyond one and two. Friends, that is the important word. Today's subject is beyond one and two. What is that? Let us ponder in our meditation. Let us try to understand that. And we will stop over here, and next Wednesday again we will meet. Thank you.
KAI is asking, during Mahalaya, there is a custom of writing down Mother Durga's name 108 times in red ink. Does writing help more to concentrate than silent japa? This is part 1. Part 2, can we follow that for our Diksha mantra too?
And no, Diksha mantra, that is again it says, you are not supposed to write it down. Why? Because if you write it down, and maybe someone will read it somewhere, there are people all around you, they're curious what you have written to you in your private diary and all that. They will find that, and they may be discussing about it. The power of the mantra goes away. That's why one should not write it, you should not tell it to anyone. But about the Durga mantra, when the mind is disturbed, they ask to write the Durga or Sri Rama or Kali. Why? At the 108, they will be in a training center. They used to say, when a young brahmachari, his mind is not concentrated, is little perturbed, so why didn't you write 1,000 times? Sri Durga or Sri Ramakrishna. When you are writing it, slowly, other thoughts goes away, mind becomes concentrated. And as because along with the writing you are reading and repeating, mind becomes purified also. That is the reason they say. It is really help to purify the mind. If we say repeat that Durga for 108 times, majority of people won't do that. But when they are writing, so that is why all these systems only to help us to concentrate. But about the mantra, no. There, when you are accepting the mantra, you are matured enough to remember it and to practice it according to the instruction of your Guru. Thank you. Thank you, friends. Now, today, we will just read this mantra and we conclude. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram parameshamidyam tam Ramakrishnam shirasa namama. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.